Squeaky the Duck by Grandma Terrie and Grandpa Bob. Squeaky the Duck, the real-life adventures of Squeaky the Duck, Max the Chihuahua, Stony, and Blackie the Cats. Grandma Terrie, Grandpa Bob, and grandson Eddie. Squeaky learns to quack. When Squeaky the Duck was very, very small, he would squeak and squeak and squeak, and that's all. When Squeaky the Duck grew as big as a shoe, he would burble and gurgle and chortle and coo. Then Squeaky the Duck grew as big as your head, and much too big to hide under the bed. Bigger and whiter he grew, till he was white as a swan, and big as one too. And Squeaky's new hairdo was something to see. It stood up tall and was white as could be. He would stand by the mirror and comb it all day, fluff up his wings, and get ready to play. Squeaky likes to go to the play in the park with his friends. They all walk in a row. Squeaky brings up the end. There's Blackie and Stony, Grandma and me, Eddie and Squeaky, all under a tree. Well, Squeaky woke up in the garden one day. He was hungry for breakfast and came in right away. He fluffed up his feathers and cleaned off his beak, checked his hair in the mirror, and tested his squeak. He stopped to see Eddie, and Eddie made him a snack. Then he waddled away and disappeared out the back. Later that day, we heard a strange sound. It rattled the windows and it shook the ground. It boomed off the walls like a rocket attack. Squeaky the Duck had learned how to quack. And he quacked, and he quacked, and he quacked, till we opened the door and we put him out back. And he quacked, and he quacked, and he quacked, and he quacked some more, till we shut all the windows and closed all the doors. We couldn't guess what he wanted to say, so we went to bed and got up the next day. And what did we find when we opened the door? There was a pretty brown duck egg that was not there before. And now Squeaky the Duck has a nest by the tree, and we finally found out that he was a she. Squeaky goes to the doctor. Squeaky, like Grandpa, eats everything she sees, but her favorite is seafood and little green peas. Squeaky likes to nibble. On everyone's lunch, there is hardly anything that she wouldn't munch. We noticed one day, towering over our cat, that Squeaky the Duck had grown quite large and fat. Grandma told her to watch what she eats, to stay away from candy and shiny things and treats. She would peck at Max's dog food, eat breakfast with the cats, eat up Grandma's salmon, and you know what Grandma thinks of that. Squeaky liked salads, burgers, and fries. Anything but duck food would light up her eyes. She would peck at my wristwatch, car keys and loose change, guitar picks and pop tops. There was nothing too strange. Grandma told her again to keep things out of her mouth. You can't eat it just because it's pretty and you found it in the house. Well, Squeaky came in from her duck nest one day. She wobbled a bit and had an odd sway. She looked kind of rumpled and quite out of sorts. Some feathers were missing and she had lost her voice. She tried to give a quack, but she was really quite weak, and only a squeak came out of her beak. Ooh, my tummy, she seemed to say. She didn't want to eat. She didn't want to play. Grandma knew something was really wrong with Squeaky the duck, when Squeaky the duck didn't get better before long. We need to go to the doctor. Quick, quick, quick. Squeaky the duck is sick, sick, sick. So Squeaky went into her travel box and into the car, and we zoomed away fast because the doctor was quite far. Doctor, doctor, what shall we do? Squeaky is weak and her tummy hurts too. So she x-rayed her tummy, and what did she see? 2 dimes and a penny, as plain as can be. They have to come out, the doctor said. So Squeaky was placed in a hospital bed. Squeaky was afraid and rolled out a tear, but Grandma told her there was nothing to fear. We waited for days for the telephone to ring, hoping for good news the doctor might bring. We took the coins from her tummy and gave her a pill. Soon she'll feel better. She was really quite ill. Squeaky is so much better today that you can bring her home. So come right away. Now Grandpa had been sick and in the hospital too. So Grandma was ready and knew just what to do. She fluffed up her nest and made it soft for her tummy, put out water and duck food, simple but yummy. She put on some music that Squeaky liked to play, when Squeaky and Grandma danced the night away. And tied by strings to the end of her bed were colored balloons, and here's what they said. Get well soon, Squeaky, and we love you. And to make it complete, a card from her doctor that said, watch what you eat. The end. Available on Amazon. Squeaky the Duck by Terrie Simons and Bob Simons.